Hello viewers, welcome to this next session on carbohydrates. Our today's session has been planned like this, that first we briefly review what we had done in our previous session, then we will take up the Fischer's proof for the configuration of D plus glucose, then we will talk about the configuration of D minus fructose, and finally we will take up trio and erythro configurational nomenclature, and then we will summarize our today's session. Previously we had discussed that naturally occurring glucose consists of 6 carbon. 6 carbons are present in a chain. There is one aldehydic functional group and remaining 5 carbons have one hydroxyl group each. Up to this structure we had arrived on the basis of certain chemical reactions, those were studied for this glucose. Now this structure has got 4 asymmetric carbon atoms which are numbered as number 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are shown with the help of a star also. And if a molecule has got 4 asymmetric carbon atoms, then 16 stereoisomers are possible. Means on these 4 carbons on which side hydrogen or hydroxyl is placed. Out of these 16 isomers, it is only one configuration that belongs to D plus glucose, and this work was done by Fischer. And what we are going to do in 4 or 5 steps in our this lecture, it took Fischer 4 years to complete this work. He carried out a large number of reactions on the basis the configuration could be assigned. We will take up only those relevant reactions which give a straight proof towards the configuration. Fischer started this work in 1888. He reported the configuration of this glucose in 1892, and for this work he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1902. So, you can see that almost 4 years work is there just for determining the configuration of this D plus glucose. Now, how Fischer started? Out of the 16 possible stereoisomers, there will be 8 pairs of enantiomers. Fischer took those isomers or those configurations in which the configuration at the lowermost asymmetric carbon atom, that is carbon number 5, is kept on the right side. He did this because glucose was correlated with glyceraldehyde and dextrorotatory glyceraldehyde was considered at that time, that if hydroxyl is on the right side. Although it was an arbitrary decision at that time, it was not confirmed regarding the configuration of glyceraldehyde even. So, he took the idea on that basis that D plus glucose, we will take this hydroxyl on the right side, and on this basis we will be able to write 8 enantiomers. If D plus glucose is either out of these 8 or then otherwise it will be out of the mirror images of these 8 configurations which we write. He wrote that first all the hydroxyls are on right side, then next is its epimer. We discussed epimer in our last session, that aldoses which differ in configuration at the second carbon atom, they are called epimers. So, in this second configuration all these 3 hydroxyls on right side, here also these 3 hydroxyls are on right side, this hydroxyl is on the right side and this is on the left side. So, this 2 is the epimer of 1. Then the third configuration wrote where this hydroxyl group on the carbon number 3 was taken on the left side, then 4 when the hydroxyl on the carbon number 2 and 3 was taken on the left side. These are again pair of epimers. Next, fifth structure he wrote, this hydroxyl at carbon number 4 was taken on the left side, then carbon number 2 and 4 hydroxyl on the left side, they also form epimeric pair, then hydroxyls at carbon number 3 and 4 on the left side, and then hydroxyls on carbon number 2, 3 and 4 on the left side. In all these 8 structures that we have written, hydroxyl at the carbon number 5, that is the lowermost asymmetric carbon atom, is kept on the right side. For studying the configuration, Fischer synthesized all the 16 aldohexoses. 8 are these written and 8 are others. At that time it was not known that which has which configuration, but he could synthesize using the Kiliani-Fischer synthesis starting from 2 isomers of glyceraldehyde all the 16 isomers of this aldohexose. Then D plus glucose was related with minus arabinose by Kiliani-Fischer synthesis. So, for minus arabinose also he could write the 4 configuration in a similar way, keeping the hydroxyl on the lowermost symmetric carbon atom, that is in this case it will be carbon number 4 on the right. This is number 9, then number 10 it is epimer with hydroxyl at carbon number 2 on the left side, then hydroxyl on carbon number 3 on the left side, and then hydroxyl on carbon number 2 and 3 on the left side. So, these are the 4 possible configurations which Fischer wrote for minus arabinose. Now, the proof goes like this. First observation was that on oxidation minus arabinose gives an optically active dicarboxylic acid, means the dicarboxylic acid that we get by the oxidation of minus arabinose was found to be optically active. This is the configuration for arabinose, because we are keeping this hydroxyl fixed on the right side, and if this hydroxyl at carbon number 2 is also on the right side, on the carbon number 3 whether the hydroxyl is on the right side or left side, we will always get a meso structure. So, that would not be possible. So, this hydroxyl at carbon number 2 and hydroxyl at carbon number 4 must be in the opposite direction. Since we are keeping this fixed on the right side, so this hydroxyl has to be on the left side. Only then we will get the corresponding dicarboxylic acid which will be optically active. If it is like this, that is the structure number 9 for minus arabinose, which has all the 3 hydroxyls on the right side, it will give a dicarboxylic acid which is a meso compound and it will be optically inactive. If this number 11 is the structure for minus arabinose, this will also give us the dicarboxylic acid which is optically inactive. It means for minus arabinose the structure 9 and 11 are not possible. So, out of the 4 possible structures for minus arabinose, 9 is not possible, 11 is also not possible. So, we are left with 2 possible structures for minus arabinose, that is number 10 and number 12. Now, next step, minus arabinose on Kiliani-Fischer synthesis gives a mixture of plus glucose and plus mannose, and we discussed in our previous session that if the 2 compounds, 2 aldoses which are obtained together in Kiliani-Fischer synthesis, they are epimers, means they differ only in the configuration at carbon number 2. So, since here they are obtained in the same Kiliani-Fischer synthesis from the same compound, so these 2 compounds, that is plus glucose and plus mannose, they should have the same configuration about the carbon number 3, carbon number 4 and carbon number 5, and this should be corresponding to the configuration with arabinose. Means if this is the possible structure for arabinose, we had written earlier 10 or 12, this is the partial structure written, because this hydroxyl is either on the right side or on the left side. Then on Kiliani-Fischer synthesis, 1 carbon is increased here, and this is the newly formed asymmetric carbon atom. The 2 anomers are there, hydroxyl on the right side and hydroxyl on the left side. So, which is glucose or mannose is not known, but these 2 must represent a pair plus glucose and plus mannose, and the configuration for the lowermost asymmetric carbon atom we are keeping fixed on the right side, and then on the carbon number 3 this configuration has to be, hydroxyl position has to be on the left side, and then on 2 it is either right or left depending upon whether it is glucose or mannose. So, based on all this we can say that plus glucose and plus mannose must be a pair, and that pair should be either 3 or 4 or 7 and 8. It cannot be 1 and 2 or 5 and 6. So, out of this, because here we are talking about this hydroxyl it can be on the right side or left side in case of both, but this hydroxyl, that is which is carbon number 3 in case of this aldohexose, has to be on the left hand side. So, it means this 1 and this 2, because they also have this hydroxyl on the right side and they are obtained from the structure number 9. So, since 9 is not for arabinose, 1 and 2 cannot be for the glucose mannose pair. Then 3 and 4, this pair can be obtained from the structure number 10. Then from 11 again we will get 5 and 6 pair. On Kiliani-Fischer synthesis, if 11 is the configuration for arabinose, we will get 5 and 6, and we have already proved that 11 is not representing minus arabinose. So, 5 and 6 also cannot be the configurations for glucose mannose pair. So, now glucose mannose pair can be either 3,4 or it can be 7,8. Now, next step is, it was observed that both plus glucose and plus mannose on oxidation give optically active dicarboxylic acids. Means individually when these two compounds are oxidized, it was found that both are giving optically active dicarboxylic acids, and we said that both are forming a pair either 3 or 4 and either 7 or 8. So, this is the structure number 3 that we have written. When it will be oxidized, we will get this dicarboxylic acid and it will be optically active because it has got no plane of symmetry in it. And if 4 structure is taken, it is oxidized, again we will get an optically active dicarboxylic acid because it also does not have any plane of symmetry. So, what we observe that if glucose mannose pair is 3 and 4, both are giving optically active acids. So, there is a possibility for it to be pair representing glucose and mannose. Suppose it is 7. The 7 structure on oxidation with nitric acid gives a dicarboxylic acid which is optically inactive, because here there is a plane of symmetry. This is a meso compound. So, it will be optically inactive, and if you take 8, this on oxidation will give an optically active dicarboxylic acid, because again it has got no plane of symmetry. So, from here we conclude, because experimentally it was observed that plus glucose and plus mannose both are giving dicarboxylic acids which is optically active, but if 7 and 8 these two structures are representing this pair, then one should give optically active acid, other should give optically inactive acid. It means 7 and 8 they do not represent the glucose mannose pair. So, 7 cannot be, 8 cannot be, because this is going as a pair, they are not representing the glucose mannose pair. So, we are left only with 2 possible configurations, one is for glucose, other is for mannose. Now, this was again confirmed on the basis of a reaction, but before going to that, now from this we can analyze back that since this structure 12 on Kiliani-Fischer synthesis would give the configurations 7 and 8. Since 7 and 8 are not representing glucose mannose pair, and we know that experimentally minus arabinose on Kiliani-Fischer synthesis gives glucose mannose pair, it means even this 12 is not representing minus arabinose. So, we are left with one configuration only, that is number 10, which represents minus arabinose, and we can see it is this structure 10 which on Kiliani-Fischer synthesis will give 3 and 4. So, now by these arguments we could reach to one configuration for minus arabinose and 2 configurations where one would be for plus glucose, other is for plus mannose. Now, the another proof came from the reaction that the dicarboxylic acid obtained from plus glucose on oxidation was also obtained by the oxidation of one more aldohexose, which was named as plus gulose. As I said before, that for giving this proof of the configuration, Fischer synthesized all the 16 aldohexoses, and he carried out the oxidation of all the 16 dicarboxylic acids, compared them with the dicarboxylic acid obtained from glucose experimentally, and he found that the dicarboxylic acid which was obtained from plus glucose was obtained from one other compound only. Now, when the structure for all these 8 that we have written earlier is compared, we find that the similar acid can be obtained from the enantiomer of 5. The structure that is written at 5, when we take its mirror image, that on oxidation would give the same dicarboxylic acid which is obtained from plus glucose. If this 4 represents glucose, then there is no other structure out of the remaining 17 which could give the same dicarboxylic acid. It is this the same structure written in an inverted way. It has been given a turn of 180 degree and written like this. It is only this structure which will give the same dicarboxylic acid, means compound giving the same dicarboxylic acid, no other compound is giving the same carboxylic acid that is obtained from 4. Now, we argue from here that experimentally we are observing that dicarboxylic acid obtained from glucose is obtained from one other compound. It means this structure 4 is not representing glucose. It is only structure 3 that represents the glucose. So, by this series of reactions, Fischer arrived at the configuration this 3 for D plus glucose. And as I said before, it was arbitrarily taken that this hydroxyl, that is hydroxyl on the lowest asymmetric carbon atom, is on the right side. It was taken at that time by comparison with glyceraldehyde, and there also it was an arbitrary decision. But almost a gap of 60 years from that time, it was confirmed when some instruments were used for determining the configuration, and it was found to be true that actually D-glyceraldehyde has the hydroxyl on the right side. So, whatsoever proof that Fischer gave was correct, and this 3 now correctly represents the configuration of glucose. Then based on this, the configuration for all other aldohexoses have also been determined by using similar type of observations and chemical reactions. From here we conclude that at number 10, that represents the configuration for minus arabinose, and since 3 and 4 are representing the glucose mannose pair and configuration for plus glucose is 3. So, it means the configuration for plus mannose is 4, and structurally we found that the dicarboxylic acid which is obtained from plus glucose is obtained from the mirror image, from the enantiomer of the compound that is written as number 5, and that was found to be plus glucose. So, structure 5 represents minus glucose. So, all these simple type of reactions helped in determining the configuration for different aldohexoses. So, this was about the configuration of glucose and other aldohexoses. Now, let us move on to the configuration of fructose. Fructose is a ketohexose, and by different chemical reactions it was also found that it consists of 6 carbons, but one of the functional group is ketone, whereas in glucose it is aldehyde, and all other 5 carbons have 1 hydroxyl each. This carbonyl is present at carbon number 2 was confounded by addition of HCN, that is getting the cyanohydrin, and by its reduction it was not obtained a 7 carbon straight chain. It was found that we are still getting a 6 carbon chain with 1 carbon substituent at position number 2. So, all these reactions led to the conclusion that fructose is a keto sugar with carbonyl group at carbon number 2. But what its configuration? Its configuration was determined on the basis of a simple reaction that also we have discussed earlier, that is the Auce zone formation. It was found that plus glucose and minus fructose both give the same Auce zone. This is the configuration for glucose, D plus glucose we have seen. This 2 lower hydroxyl groups on the asymmetric carbon atoms are on the right, then on carbon number 3 this hydroxyl is on the left, and on carbon number 2 it is on the right. And we have discussed earlier that in the formation of OC zone only carbon number 1 and carbon number 2 are involved, whether it is an aldohexose or ketohexose. Since we are getting the same OC zone from D plus glucose as well as from D minus fructose, so that confirms that the configuration of the lower 4 carbons, out of which 3 are asymmetric, that configuration at these 3 asymmetric carbon atoms in fructose and glucose, it should be same. So, based on this, configuration for D minus fructose is also determined. The next, the configuration for these aldoses was determined as I said earlier, and for the 2 aldotetroses, one of them is erythrose and other is threose, is also used for assigning the configuration to other diastereoisomeric compounds containing 2 asymmetric carbon atoms. So, from here you can say a method of nomenclature or method of assigning a configuration was derived from the configuration of erythrose and threose, and that system is called threo and erythro configurational nomenclature. This is erythrose, which has both the hydroxyl groups on the 2 asymmetric carbon atoms on the same side. D erythrose has got both the hydroxyl on the right side, whereas L erythrose has got both the hydroxyl group on the left side. And another isomer threose, D erythrose has got this lower hydroxyl on the asymmetric carbon atom on the right side and this on carbon number 2 on the left side, and whereas its mirror image L threose has got this hydroxyl on carbon number 3 on the left side and that on carbon number 2 on the right side. But out of the 2 compounds, both the isomers of erythrose have hydroxyl group on the same side, both the isomers of threose have the hydroxyl group on the opposite side, that is across to each other. And based on this, the system of assigning the configuration to other compounds was derived like this, that any diastereoisomer with similar groups on the same side, it will be called as erythroisomer, and diastereoisomer with similar groups on the opposite side will be called as threoisomer. From here, this nomenclature is used for other compounds. Let us take some examples, like this is 2,3-dibromopentane. This particular isomer has got both the bromine atoms on the same side, whereas in this the 2 bromine atoms are across. So, this is erythro 2,3-dibromopentane and this is threo 2,3-dibromopentane. Now, in this case the 2 methyls are similar, but this chlorine and hydroxyl are different, but if you write in Fischer projection we find at least the 2 hydrogens are identical. So, these 2 hydrogens are on the same side, this is the erythroisomer, these 2 hydrogens are across, this is the threoisomer. Similarly, we use for naming other compounds, like this is a carboxylic acid having 2 hydroxyl groups, 2,3-dihydroxybutanoic acid. This is the erythroisomer of 2,3-dihydroxybutanoic acid. This is mirror image and this is the threoisomer of this 2,3-dihydroxybutanoic acid. So, this nomenclature system is derived from the configuration of 2 4-carbon aldoses. So, today we revised briefly about the structure of glucose, then we discussed about the Fischer's proof for the configuration of D plus glucose, then we discussed that this could be used for determining the configuration of fructose, and finally, we discussed a nomenclature method that is used for assigning the configuration to other diastereoisomers. In our next session, we will take the further advances in the structure of D plus glucose, because till now we have discussed that it has got an open chain structure. Now, we will take up certain reactions in our next session which showed that this open chain structure is not correct, and on the basis of those reactions a cyclic structure was assigned to D plus glucose. Thank you.